All right. Hope you guys can hear me okay. I hate that this is how we have to wake up every morning the last 2 days. But, yeah, we are getting reports that a fourth U.S. service member has now died, been killed. And last night, I was watching it live, but we didn't get the full reports, or this morning for America. F-15s have been shot down due to friendly fire. So, yeah, if I look super tired, that's why. If you are watching this video, make sure to please like this video. This is a posted video from a live stream. So here we go. Let's start with this from Pete Hegseth.
We fight to win, and we don't waste time or lives. As the president warned, an effort of this scope will include casualties. War is hell, and always will be. A grateful nation honors the 4 Americans we have lost thus far and those injured. The absolute best of America. May we prosecute the remainder of this operation in a manner that honors them. No apologies, no hesitation, epic fury for them and the thousands of Americans before them, taken too soon by Iranian radicals. We fight to win, and we don't waste time.
So we also have the Central Command report. Again, if you guys are watching this live, make sure to please like the stream so others can see what's happening right now. I think half of the United States is not even up, but all of this was happening during the morning. The images are pretty insane. So this is an hour ago. As of 7:30 a.m. Eastern, March 2nd, 4 U.S. service members have been killed in action. The 4th service member, who was seriously wounded during Iran's initial attacks, eventually succumbed to their injuries. Major combat operations continue, and our response effort is ongoing. The identities of the fallen are being withheld until 24 hours after the next kin notification. Yeah, for anyone who's ever been involved with unfortunate events like this in the military, the families get notified first before the public. But at the same time, this is an active operation. This is a very serious operation. I don't think they want to give too much information away. Even the names, because once you give the names away, enemy intelligence or whoever has evil intentions against the U.S. can start to look into maybe their social media posting, who they're with, stuff like that. So the U.S. has to be very careful with situations like this. We'll get into this in a second. There is a active press conference right now, but this is also pretty big. At 11:03 p.m., March 1st, 3 U.S. F-15 Strike Eagles flying in support of Operation Epic Fury went down over Kuwait due to an apparent friendly fire incident. I don't know if you guys saw these images, but here's the pilot. And let me know if you guys saw that. I was watching that all last night. I mean, it's incredible how fast we were getting the news. Within like minutes, a video came out of an F-15 falling from the sky, somebody parachuting, and yeah, he was American. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, let's just do that right now.
Doing here, Kuwait looks as though through their missile defense has taken out 2 of our planes. You'll see some of that video shortly. They've done that. Thankfully, our pilots are okay. But this is the type of mass coordination that has to be pulled off. Yep. You got armies in these Arab states. They have their own missile defense. We have our units. And on the other side, you also have Israel working. So the coordination's got to be exquisite. Sometimes doing here, Kuwait looks as though through their missile defense has taken out 2 of.
So I guess it was Kuwait who took out the F-15s.
Without apology and without hesitation, and we will kill you.
Yeah,
if you
they're not messing around right now. Let me see if this video will pop up. Yeah, we're getting a bunch of clips right now. Like, there is an active press conference from the Department of War. While this is all here, let's just play these clips, and then we'll get to that.
In direct orders of President Donald J. Trump, the Department of War launched Operation Epic Fury, the most lethal, most complex, and most precise aerial operation in history. For 47 long years, the expansionist and Islamist regime in Tehran has waged a savage, one-sided war against America. They didn't always declare it openly, except for their constant chance of death to America. They did it through the blood of our people. Car bombs in Beirut, rocket attacks on our ships, murders at our embassies, roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan.
That's probably the number one thing. I'm a little confused. Last night I was seeing a lot of news pundits question, what has Iran actually done? I advise you, if you don't know, maybe just do a little bit of history check into the U.S. service members who have lost their lives due to these IEDs and the innovations with the IEDs. It was a cat and mouse game back and forth. The U.S. had to figure out a way how to stop those IEDs, and it was tracked down from Iran.
And armed by Iranian Quds Force and IRGC killers. My generation of veterans carry the names of brothers who never came home. Brothers butchered by Iranian-backed roadside bombs and well-armed militias, thousands of our own. We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Their war on Americans has become our retribution against their Ayatollah.
Yeah, so let me know how you guys feel about all of this so far. Obviously, like, some people really support it, some people don't. Then you have some people who understand why this has been done. We have a lot of I don't think it's so like split 50-50 right now. I think we have a lot of different categories as far as what the support is. Let me pull this up for you guys. The other really big story is, of course, the Pakistani U.S. embassy, where those U.S. Marines engaged people who were trying to enter the compound, and shots were fired at the Marines.
Let me speak straight to you, the Joint Force, our warriors on the front lines. This is your moment. This is the generational turning point America has waited for since 1979, and since the rudderless wars of hubris my generation, our generation, endured. Don't listen to the noise. Just stay focused. Our commander-in-chief is steady at the wheel. We face a determined enemy, but you are better. But we must prove it every single day. History doesn't care if we're tired, if we're scared, or if the fight feels big. It demands warriors who rise anyway. Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans. They're the beating heart of what it means to wear the uniform, that uniform. You think clearly under fire, you act decisively in chaos, you uphold the Constitution, and you uphold our country without hesitation. We are not defenders anymore. We are warriors, trained to kill the enemy and break their will. History is watching. Be the force you swore an oath to be, focused, disciplined, lethal, and unbreakable. We will finish this on America First conditions of President Trump's choosing. Nobody else's.
I mean, that's the big question right now. In fact, the next clip is going to be Pete Hegseth apparently going in on a news reporter talking about the length of the conflict.
As it should be. And know this above all, President Trump and I have your back, always. Through fire, through criticism, through fake news, through everything. We unleash you because you are the best, most powerful, most lethal fighting force the world has ever seen. May Almighty God watch over you and his providential arms of protection extend over you. Godspeed, warriors, and keep going.
Okay. And, okay, here we go. Let's play this clip right here. Again, I think this press conference is active right now, but we can just pull up the clips. Give me 1 second. As far as the fourth U.S. soldier losing their life, yeah, that was confirmed if you're just joining. They have succumbed to their wounds, but we still don't know the full details as far as what exactly happened, where it happened, who they are. We're not going to get that until 24 hours, apparently.
And one for Chairman Kane as well. I understand, to your point here, that you don't want to broadcast everything for our adversaries to hear, but the American people also want to know what they're sending their men and women to war for. Is there a concern of this spiraling into a longer war? And then one for the chairman when you're done.
Did you not hear my remarks?
Whoa.
I mean, we're ensuring the mission gets accomplished, but we are very clear-eyed, as the president has been, unlike other presidents, about the foolish policies of the past that recklessly pulled us in to things that were not tethered to actual clear objectives. So we know. We have plans, we have generals, we have chairmen, we have commanders, CENTCOM commanders, Admiral Cooper, who's executing very deliberately to ensure outcomes that I laid out are accomplished. But we would never, in front of a press pool, lay out how long that may take. The mission for our warfighters, which is what matters to us, is very, very clear. And they're executing it right now violently.
And just for the chairman quickly, I have one for just for
Yeah, Hegseth, definitely a different type of reporting for the United States. We're not gonna get told anything. I'm pulling up all these clips for you guys so you don't have to watch the full hour press conference. Let me pull this up for you. It looks like right now Hegseth is they're doing questions, which by the way is not common nowadays as far as having a press pool and an active engagement back and forth with questions. So we don't get to see this a lot. All right, here we go. 1 second.
The question about 4 weeks is the typical NBC sort of gotcha type question. President Trump has all the latitude in the world to talk about how long it may or may not take. 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 6 weeks. It could move up. It could move back. We're going to execute at his command the objectives we've set out to achieve. And what he has shown an ability to do that other presidents can't quite seem to have the aperture to do, well, I mean, Joe Biden didn't even know what he was doing, is to look for opportunities and off-ramps and escalations for the United States that creates new opportunities to execute what we need on our own timeline. So you can play games about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. He has all the latitude, and I'm glad he does, because there's no better communicator than our president expressing those things.
Daily Mail.
Just so you guys are aware, that 4 week, you're going to keep hearing 4 week, 5 week. That's because President Trump yesterday made the comment he thinks it'll be about that time, but then also made the comment that, hey, Bush said 5 months, 5 years. So we don't know what the timeline is, but 4 to 5 weeks you're going to keep hearing that a lot in the news. Thank you so much for the generous $2 donation from Born a Hawkeye. God is light. Pray for troops and America. Yes. God bless all of you. And thank you guys so much for being here.
In meetings with the president for the last 2.5 days, we know exactly where his headspace is, and he will communicate as he should exactly what he would like, and we will follow those orders. And I think everything he said on that is right down the middle.
Okay. And it's not only Pete Hegseth who's there.
The military objectives.
Last one right here.
Uranium is. Thank you, sir. As you've said, there are a large amount of U.S. service members that are in harm's way right now. What is your prayer for them?
First of all, my prayer for them is that I do pray for them. My wife prays for them. Our family prays for them. Our cabinet prays for them. None of this is done on a whim. Having been in their boots, having been in their shoes, having been in their flight suits, I know we think about them with every decision that we make and every recommendation that we make to the President of the United States. Those recommendations are made prayerfully. And when I pray every day for them and for this mission, I pray simply for the biblical wisdom to see what is right and the courage to do it. It's going to take courage to follow through on this. There's going to be a lot of noise, and we pray for that, and we hope all of you do as well. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, as far as this timeline, again, we have 2 clips here. Let me pull these up real quick. Again, thank you guys for joining. I know some of you are probably just waking up or maybe even just going to bed, but we are getting news that another service member has lost their life, and we're being told more might be losing their lives. And that was another statement from President Trump yesterday, that there is an expectation that more might lose their lives. Sorry about the all this.
So let me start with a few details. First, to be clear, as the Secretary said, this is not a single overnight operation. The military objectives that CENTCOM and the Joint Force have been tasked with will take some time to achieve, and in some cases will be difficult and gritty work. We expect to take additional losses, and as always, we will work to minimize U.S. losses. But as the Secretary said, this is major combat operations. So let me talk about the preparation and the planning. On February 28th, the full strength of America's armed forces came together in a unified purpose against a capable and determined adversary. The United States Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force, Coast Guard, and our reserve components integrated across our combatant commands and began coordinated operations with the Israeli armed forces of an unprecedented scale.
Okay. Let's go to this right here. I am curious about this. The F-15s involved with, very, very short statement. Let me know if you guys heard about this. 3 U.S. F-15s involved in friendly fire incident in Kuwait, pilot safe. And man, those images will go down in the history books as far as... Let me see if I have a picture for you or a video real quick. Hold on. I mean, here's a video of the person, pilot, safe and good to go.
Police, yes, 1 minute, 1 minute. لا لا شبه الدبة 1 minute 1 minute 1 minute.
Thankfully, we're cool with Kuwait. But yeah, these were some bit of scary images when they first came out because nobody knew what was going on. Now we're being told that it was a friendly fire. At 11:03 Eastern, March 1st, 3 U.S. F-15s, Strike Eagles flying in support of Operation Epic Fury, went down over Kuwait due to an apparent friendly fire incident during active combat. That included attacks from Iranian aircraft, ballistic missiles, and drones. The U.S. Air Force fighter jets were mistakenly shot down by Kuwait air defenses. All 6 aircrew ejected safely, have been safely recovered, and are in stable condition. Kuwait has acknowledged this incident, and we are grateful for the efforts of the Kuwaiti Defense Forces and their support in this ongoing operation. The cause of the incident is under investigation. I'm telling you right now, we're probably not going to be told what happened. Additional information will be released as it becomes available. Thank you for the very generous $4 donation. Pat Powell 2717, and thank you for being a member. And thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, the last 2 live streams have been under very not great circumstances. Do we have that video? Yeah. I don't think we have. Yeah, so out of nowhere last night, just imagine, like, this clip keeps popping up. This is why X has been monumental, and really YouTube, these platforms where we can go live immediately. It's just that nobody knew what was happening. We just see an F-15 falling to the sky from the sky in Kuwait. Yeah.
لا والله حربية طيارة حربية.
And then we just start seeing images like this of people parachuting from the sky. Now, thankfully, everybody is alive. There's another famous shot where the Kuwaiti either police or somebody thought that this guy was they didn't know who he was, so they approached him obviously with firearms and like we're about to attack him. But again, thankfully, everybody is cool. We are allies with Kuwait. We've been in Kuwait for a hot minute now. We have bases in Kuwait. Yeah, there's a lot going on, man. Hold on.
Particular incident was, you have air defenses and the lot's coming in and you hit most of it. And we absolutely do. We have incredible air defenders. Every once in a while, you might have One, unfortunately, we call it a squirter that makes its way through.
Whoa.
And in that particular case, it happened to hit a tactical operations center that was fortified, but these are powerful weapons. So we certainly will do, as I said, moments like that, as we remember them and we take care of them and take care of their families, only stiffen our resolve to ensure that we do this properly.
I did not know that's what it was called. And then this is a good question. I think many people want to know. Exit strategy. For anybody who's over the age of 30 years old, these are all words we grew up with, or we had to hear in the news every day. Exit strategy. That's one of them. What is the exit strategy?
What percentage of Iranian long-strike capabilities are still in the fight, and what is our exit strategy here, and when will it be deployed?
Well, they have long-range strike capabilities, which we are hyper-focused on. The brief we got just this morning, Admiral Cooper knows exactly and precisely what kind of threat matrix he's looking at, the way they might change their techniques and how we adapt to that. So we're making sure the theater commander has absolutely everything he needs. I mean, one of the things the chairman mentioned is for months and months, even before we built up, we ensured that we had maximum defensive capabilities in theater to allow the president the decision space in the future. So even before this build up in the last 30 days, we discreetly brought defensive assets in to make sure, understanding that there are Iranian capabilities. As far as time frame, I would never hang a time frame from our perspective.
Yeah, this time frame, this is going to be in the news every single day. The time frame. What is the time frame? That is, and look, that's a very, people want to know how long is this going to last, but for sure this is going to be the top question.
Commander-in-Chief sets the op tempo and terms of this fight. As I said, it's on his terms, and we'll make sure that Admiral Cooper and his team have everything they need, not just to defend. I mean, the best defense is good offense. And so we're aggressively pushing into that airspace over that southern flank to ensure that we control it and we destroy anything that moves that would attempt to shoot us. Think of it as shooting the archer instead of the arrows. That's where we want to be. And we have the kind of exquisite intelligence to get over the top, find that and destroy it. It won't happen overnight. This is a big battle space with a lot of capabilities. That's part of the reason why it's such a threat to us. Yeah. That's why I talk about conventional umbrella to blackmail nuclear ambitions. They were building up this conventional arsenal in order to ensure that no one would ever block them from their ability to get nuclear weapons. So
okay. And I think Mr. Hegseth is talking like literally Iran is massive.
Secretary Hegseth, thank you. Reagan Reese with the Daily Caller. 2 questions for you. The president said yesterday in his video message that we will leave Iran when we complete all of our objectives. What are our objectives? And can you share more information on how the soldiers who were killed were killed?
Well, I laid out the objectives, as did the chairman. They're completely nested. I mean, Iran has an ability to project power against us and our allies in ways that we can't tolerate. So whether that's ballistic missiles and drones, so offensive capabilities, effectively their navy, which would attempt to set other terms and impose different costs, drone capabilities, which we laid out there, and ultimately, though, this tying it back to Midnight Hammer, the president has been willing to make a deal. You can't have a nuclear bomb.
And this is where we have like that big divide. I'm going to do better to go into like the political narrative, but you guys are probably starting to see it. In one sense, many people understand. On the other sense, many people are saying, well, Iran is all the way over here. We're all the way over, they're so far away from us. Why is that a problem? Why are they a problem? And you guys are probably seeing it. I mean, this is going to be the main headline in the news. Why are we here? This is a war. How long's the war? It's not a war. Is it a war? So, yeah. Thank you so much for the generous $5 donation, Don C. Thoughts and prayers for our military. Be vigilant because our home front, due to sleeper cells, could be vulnerable. Let's be united. And just so you guys are aware, I am tracking the story over in Texas, which is still being investigated as a possible potential terror attack. So make sure to please subscribe. I made a video about that yesterday, but we are still waiting to see what happens.
Radical Islamists can't have a nuclear bomb that they wield against the world. He gave them every single opportunity. Then we precisely took it away. And even then, after that, they didn't have that. They didn't come to the table with a willingness to give it away. So ultimately, those nuclear ambitions, which never ceased, are something that had to be addressed as well. So that's a discrete sense of what's being addressed here to ensure that.
And by the way, when we're saying nuclear ambitions, depending on what presidency we're in, these are different definitions. During Obama, Biden, that would be nuclear energy or possible hope for nuclear energy. During Trump, they're talking nuclear bombs. So big distinction here when we're talking about nuclear power in Iran.
They can't use that conventional umbrella to continue a pursuit of nuclear ambitions. And then as it pertains to the U.S. casualties, that particular incident was, you have air defenses and the lot's coming in and you hit most of it. And we absolutely do. We have incredible air defenders. Every once in a while, you might have one, unfortunately, we call it a squirter that makes its way through. And in that particular case, it happened to hit.
Okay. Let's continue. Thank you for the generous $5 donation from Borna Hawkeye again. Thank you for being a member as well. Texas has been known to be a hotbed with jihadist training camps on the southern border over in Mexico. For quite some time, Biden let them in. It says Borna Hawkeye. And I do remember early on when DHS put out the statistics that, hey, there are some people who cross the border who are probably not supposed to be here. That's when the Trump administration, I think, started to turn up the locking down the border and starting the deportation operations. You guys probably remember that at the very beginning of the Trump administration.
Secretary Hickseth, and one for Chairman Kane as well. I understand, to your point here, that you don't want to broadcast everything for our adversaries to hear, but the American people also want to know what they're sending their men and women to war for. Is there a concern of this spiraling into?
Let's not. Let's play this one right here. Boots on the ground. I would be shocked if boots on the ground was ever a thing, other than like embassy or special operations or people on the ground who are helping coordinate airstrikes. But here's that.
Thank you, Secretary Hickseth. I had two questions for you. First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do. Here's exactly how long we'll go. Here's exactly how far we'll go. Yep. Here's what we're willing to do and not do. It's foolishness.
This was actually the first thing the president was like running on. Do you guys remember early on, like before 2016, obviously, when President Trump kept saying, why are we telling everybody what we're doing? This was a very, very early Trump policy as far as we're not going to do that.
And so President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years. We've proven that you can achieve objectives that advance American interests without being foolish about it. Now, will we be bold about it? Are we willing to be decisive about it? Do we put months and months of planning into what kind of effects we want to achieve? Absolutely. But going forward, why in the world would we tell you, the enemy, anybody, what we will or will not do in pursuit of an objective? We fight to win. We fight to achieve the objectives the President of the United States has laid out, and we will do so unapologetically. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. All right.
We absolutely do. We have incredible air defense.
We saw that already. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see what while we're here, let's see what Hakeem Jeffries has to say. Mind you, DHS is partially shut down right now. I think that's another aspect that's going to be brought to the light this week, that I think some people are going to be pushing for all of DHS to be opened, since the FBI is in a full state of awareness that something might happen in the United States. It'd be great to have another department, DHS, to be fully open, but we'll see.
Officials on Saturday said that there was intelligence that Iran could be preparing for a possible preemptive strike. That was contradicted on Sunday by other intelligence, as reported to our sources. What you are saying is you have heard no reason for why Donald Trump ordered this strike now versus 6 months from now.
There's no indication that Iran had reconstituted its nuclear program. There's no indication that Iran was prepared to strike the United States preemptively or to strike any of our interests in the region. And there certainly is no justification for a regime change war. The American people want us to focus on making their life better, making their life more affordable, not getting involved in another endless war in the Middle East that is going to end in failure. This administration somehow found the resources, has found billions of dollars for bombs, but can't find any money to actually bring down the high cost of living here in the United States of America.
Okay. So I will be doing a separate video probably on that, all the different aspects. I just wanted to go live to show you guys that we do have confirmed now a 4th U.S. service member who has lost their life in connection to the original report of the 3 that was reported yesterday, and they have succumbed to their wounds, according to Central Command. Now, look, there could be more injuries or deaths that we don't know about. Even President Trump alluded to that, and that was also kind of mentioned in this press conference that, hey, there might be some more casualties here. So I will be on the lookout. But yeah, this is going to be a very intense news cycle week for sure. We have a lot of different news stories. A Minnesota protester was arrested overseas in connection to the St. Paul protest. We have what happened down in Texas. You guys remember the person who allegedly stole the ambulance in Idaho and smashed it into a DHS office building. Border Patrol agent was shot over in New Hampshire, waiting on that trial. We're still waiting to see what happens with Judge Hannah Dugan. I mean, there's so much. The SAVE Act. It's going to be interesting to see what the media reports and doesn't report, but right now Iran obviously is the main headline with every single news outlet, so I'll do my best to try and give you guys the news that is not really being reported, and I don't want you guys to work too hard to find this stuff. So, all right, that is pretty much the news, guys. I don't want to drag you on, but I just wanted to get on here, hop on here, and unfortunately report this news. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for everything. Make sure to please like the video, notifications on. Make sure to please subscribe so you guys don't miss a thing. If we do get more breaking news, I will be going live. If like another U.S. service member loses their life or an injury, hopefully it doesn't happen. But if something like that happens, I will be live again. So, all right. Love all you guys. God bless you. And prayers to all of you. Please pray for peace. And thank you guys so much. Please seek Christ. Thank you guys.